What?
Hey
Hang on.
everybody! Hey everybody! We're on.
Hey, you weren't expecting that, were
What do you
you?
think of that? So I just, a few seconds before the hour clicked over.
Da da da! Surprise!
So
We're, we're like the Spanish Inquisition.
nobody suspects us because you're tired. You've
It
had a long.
wasn't.
You're
I'm
so
tired.
you. So I figure we'll start a few
I'm wearing my
seconds.
pajamas.
We'll start a few seconds early so we can end a few seconds early. I like those. Your jammies.
It's
Your jammy
fleecy.
jams.
So happy with my fleecy pajamas. Ah,
So other than tired, how are you? Or is tired
that
the main emotion?
all encompassing. I'm like, how am I? I don't know. Yeah, I'm just tired. Tired. Pretty good. Like I'm in the brace. I was only in the
Right.
boot till lunch. And then by the time school's out, and I was walking on the car, I'm like, okay, that I'm good. I've had more than enough. Oh,
Yes. I'm done.
yep, I'm ready to be home. Unfortunately, it's not an option. I need to drive home. Oh golly, I'm so tired. Like it's not fair. Like I went to bed, or I tried to go to bed at a decent hour. It was like not too indecent.
Well, but
I stayed up a little bit. Yeah, I had my
you had
script
stuff to do
last night.
yesterday, so yeah.
Well, there was stuff that I chose to do. Let's be a little bit more clear on that. It wasn't stuff that I had to do. There was stuff that I had that was stuff to do. It was not stuff that I had to do. So it's a
Precision
little
is
bit
very
potential.
important.
Well, I mean, like I just, there's a big difference between stuff you got to do and stuff that you have that you'd like to do, which was my case. I could have just like not gone to my reading group, but I wanted to go, so I did, and I ended up, as a result, getting home late in the evening, and then I woke up this morning before the alarm. So it wasn't my fault. I woke up and I couldn't get back to sleep, and I'm just like, I'm so tired. So how are you, Steve?
I'm pretty good. I think I told you already. I actually woke up before my alarm too. I'm
I
not
think
sure.
so, yeah. I know
I
because I made fun of you because today was a workout day.
Today was a workout day. It was the long morning workout. And yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, still wearing the fall risk bracelet.
Like, yeah.
Um, I don't know how much longer or how far before my alarm that I woke up because I refuse to look at the clock until the alarm goes off. In fact, I actually in my bedroom now I do not have any visible clocks. Like if I want to see what time it is, I have to check my phone or like light my watch up. Like there's nowhere to just glance and see what
Like a
time it
Neanderthal.
is. Well, but I want it that way because like
No, I'm the what? I have to, light my phone up for
yeah, yeah.
you.
Like I lost a
My
war.
tea is being brought to me. Look at this. This is yeah. This is thoughtfulness from family. Oh,
So
goodness gracious.
you won't
Whitmore has been so whiny. I
oh,
won't have to get. I was gonna have to skedoodle to get the tea.
but no longer necessary.
No longer necessary.
But yeah,
No
so
one loves him. No
I
one. Go ahead. I give you my blessing.
oh really?
Yeah,
Okay.
really.
Okay.
I mean it this time.
Okay. So yeah, I had a good day.
You can go ahead.
Okay. I
I promise.
250, and I'll tell you, 255 AD. I mean, like psychologically, to me, that makes a huge difference. Because like I always, Monday through Friday, in addition to whatever workout I do first thing in the morning, I also do an hour on my stationary bike, and I try as best I can.
Midlife crisis, folks.
Yeah, sure. I try, I try as best I can to not look at the clock while
Before what
I'm
time?
what, huh?
Before what time?
Well, before it's usually late. Lately, it's been from 8:30 to 9:30 or 9:35
You
actually.
don't
Because
look at the clock before 8:30?
oh no 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 no, when I'm on the bike.
Okay.
Once I get
Okay,
on the
got it,
bike,
got
I
it.
don't look at the clock because I have a timer set on my phone that goes off when I've been on for my requisite time.
Your
And
requisite time.
because like I'm watching stuff on TV while I'm biking, so I have a kind of a vague sense of how long I've been doing it, but something about checking the time and seeing specifically how long I've been on and how much longer I have to go. It's just so
So depressing.
discouraging. Yeah, it's like, oh my god, I'm not even halfway through yet, like that kind of thing. So
It's
not
so
looking at the clock.
unfair.
I
You're doing
also
it to
try.
yourself.
I also really when I'm watching a movie, especially if it's a movie that I've not seen before, I never look at the clock. I never look at my watch. Like there have been times when it's one of my pet peeves. It's a minor pet peeve. It's not like a life ruining thing, but like if I go to see a movie with somebody else and like midway through they're like and I know, go ahead and laugh. And midway through they're like, "What time is it?" I hate that. I'm like, "Oh god, I don't want to tell you what time it is because then I'll know what time it is and I don't want to know what time it is."
I don't want to know what time it is. Oh my goodness. Oh my
Is
goodness.
it so
That
much to
is
ask to just be swept away by the film and.
only when it's so much to ask that someone else be swept away by the film. When they ask you, they're not.
Well, and also it's like, you know, I mean, why do you care? Are you like, do you think you might have to leave before the movie's over? Like, if not, just shut up and watch the movie. Who gives a
No, no,
fuck
no.
what
It's
time
not
it
that they
is?
have to. Again, not they have to and have the opportunity to. Because that's the precursor to, I mean, do we really have to say for the rest of it? I
But
mean,
if you're
wouldn't you wouldn't have done that for Lord of the Rings?
My God, if I had checked my watch during the Lord of the Rings, I don't know if I could have finished it.
Whoa. Even
If
for
I
the podcast?
well, for the podcast, I would have had to finish it. Like then it's
No,
work.
you
Like,
wouldn't have. You wouldn't have. I mean, I would really be interested in listening to that podcast.
oh no, I would
That
never
would
do
make
that.
it
I
extra
would never
fun.
do that. No, I would never do that.
Aw.
I would never do that. If that's unprofessional. And I mean, technically, it's not where the podcast isn't professional because we don't make money from it. But still, like
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
but in terms of like in terms of just personal principle and having a sense
Yeah.
of professionalism about what you do, I mean, like I would if me and Jason agreed to watch a movie for the podcast, I would not I would watch the entire movie. I would, even if I
See,
hated it, I would watch the entire movie.
see, and that's why that's an advantage to being a teacher.
Oh,
Because yeah, when a student turns in work that is just like, now I don't tell the
subpar.
student, I don't tell the student, I'm not grading this. I'm not reading any more of this. Take it back. I don't say it, but
Yeah.
I do, I make notes as I'm going through it. And there comes a point when I say, I stop and I just note, here are some of the things that I've noticed on this. And I go to the student, look, this does not fulfill the requirements of the assignment. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to, look at the notes that I've made on it. I'm going to give you the opportunity to look back at the directions and make significant changes to this, because this doesn't really show what you're capable of. You can do significantly better than this. And then I just don't read the rest until they do better. And the thing is,
Yeah.
with a movie, you don't really have the option to like write a letter to the producer and say, I'm not gonna here, look, I'm sending this back to you. Do it again. I mean, you could. I don't think it happened. But you could.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
You wouldn't do that?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Actually, they're pretty much all of the times that
The Lord of the
I
Rings
have,
movie?
huh?
Pretty much all of the Lord of the Rings movies that made you want to do that?
Well, I will say, like with cool, the first time I saw Fellowship was with you back once upon a time when it came out in the theater. Um, and I
Wow, they're
remember,
that old?
yeah, I know we're that old. And
No, I said that.
are they that
yeah,
old?
fair
Yeah,
enough.
no, it came out in like 2001, yeah, or the first one came out in 2001.
I guess
I
it's Odyssey.
I th- but let's just keep naming much better movies. Um,
We'll be here a while.
but anyway, I remember. I think you and I may have even talked about it, although I can't. I don't have a specific memory, but but like my feelings about that movie of Fellowship of the Ring have not changed since the first time I saw it. Knowing that there were two more coming after that one, I remember thinking and possibly saying, perhaps to you after seeing the first one, you know what? I think I'm good. Like I don't need to see the other two. I'm fine. And I didn't see the other two until Jason and I reviewed them for the podcast. And those are two examples of movies, especially the last one, Return of the King, which is the one that was the only one of the three that I actually thought was a bad movie. The other two, I just thought, well, I can respect certain things about it, but it's just not for me. You know,
Uh-huh.
Return of the King actually seemed like a really, really bad movie, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And and if I were
Don't
not
go back,
watching it,
man.
if I were not watching it for the show, I would not have finished it. Um, but and also, but I was going to say all of the times that I can think of where I have started watching either like a movie or even an episode of like a TV show, and I have not at least finished the episode if it was a TV show or finished the movie. They've all been in the last few years. Like it's only been in the last few years that I've allowed myself that indulgence of, like I don't have to finish this. If this isn't good, then
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to finish it. Because
It's so
I
nice.
did that. I did it last year. Well, I did it last year. The first time I tried to watch the new Space Jam movie, I stopped like I stopped like an hour in. I was like, all right, I don't need to watch it. This is because it was awful. I did eventually finish it because Jason and I watched it together. And we
And that makes it that
oh yeah.
part of it.
Yeah, and we
The-
watched
the-
it and made fun of it and
That's fun. You
and it
like
was great.
making fun of things.
Yeah, it was great. But the movie itself is just there's nothing good about it. It's horrible. And then I also did it for the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett a couple weeks ago. Because although technically I finished it, I just watched most of it on fast forward because I was like, okay, come on, let's and then I did actually go back and watch. I gave it a second chance. I watched the second episode of Book of Boba Fett last week, and
because you just can't.
And it was better. It was better than the first episode, but I still got to the end of it and I was like, I do not give a shit about any of this. So I think I'm done. Like I don't
right.
like I haven't watched the third episode and I don't really plan to. They even tried
But Sarah, they're cute kids.
I thought, I mean, to each their own. Like if you don't dig the Harry Potter movies, that's completely cool. But I mean, God, I would watch the worst Harry Potter movie 3 times in a row before I would watch another Lord of the Rings movie. I mean, it's like,
There's a lot of Harry Potter movies, though.
There's 8. There's exactly one more than there should be. Because how does this happen? There's 7 books. There's 8 movies.
Well, I think they took a note from Peter Jackson.
Oh God. No,
they're
because not no, they didn't
no.
because at least Peter Jackson. I mean, yeah, those movies were like fucking interminable, but at least he only made one movie per book. I mean, until The Hobbit, but that was later.
Yeah,
But that was
that's
later.
what
Yeah.
I know. That it was sarcasm. That's okay.
Oh, sorry. I
See,
get jokes.
I wasn't clear enough. Precision matters, Steve.
Precision does matter. Radical Bacon's asking about Encanto. You've seen that, right? I haven't watched it, but
Yes,
yeah.
I have. Actually, lately it has technically been his music, but it's been a parody of "You'll Be Back." The "Wear a Mask" that one. But, oh boy. And I was because I was really thinking the Encanto didn't like I enjoy Lin-Manuel's music, but I don't know if it's. I'm trying to think of some of the. No, gosh, no. I like. I don't know if it's just that. None of the songs from Encanto, the Bruno one obviously is very catchy, but yeah, none of them really grabbed me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't really know why. His music, I don't like dislike it, but for all I enjoyed Hamilton, but it didn't sit with me the way that it did for like a lot of people. And I
the way it did for me.
The music.
Yeah, I listened to the album long before they put it on Disney Plus, and I got to actually see the show. Oh yeah, I'm reduced to a puddle.
Like
It
what?
destroys me. It destroys me.
Like the whole thing, or particular parts, or what?
Well, let me see. I mean, yeah, the ending, like because like the whole final sort of run up to. Oh, I'll tell you another one. I mean, the ending obviously wrecks me, but also oh, I can't. What's the song called? When
Or you can just tell me about it.
When Hamilton and Eliza reconcile.
Okay.
It's Quiet Uptown, I think is the song.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that gets me.
Nope.
But yeah, Hamilton just destroys me.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
God, that's interesting.
Oh yeah. It's the only musical that I've ever had that kind of like that I've reacted to like it's a regular story, not just a bunch of bullshit.
But you really liked Chicago.
I did like Chicago, but I was entertained by Chicago. I wasn't like deeply moved by Chicago.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I was very entertained by. There's other musicals I like. I mean, Hamilton's not the only musical I like. I've actually gotten to like several musicals. But oh no, I take it back. There was one other musical that destroyed me emotionally, and that was Dancer in the Dark.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Which I don't think I haven't even. That's the only movie I have. I've only ever watched that once. I don't know if I'd be able to watch it again. It was that upsetting. It was like devastating. Yeah.
Wow, 255 AD. That is dedication and like deep pockets as well. I mean, well, but I mean, apparently Steve's not. I'm trying to think. Oh no. And some of it also is the context.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because like, have you seen Mamma Mia?
No.
Okay, so I guess you haven't seen Mamma Mia too. Did I tell you about it?
Oh, you told me. Is this a story about you and your mom when you saw the movie and your mom was with you in the theater?
No, both of my
Both
parents.
of your parents. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And like, so Mamma Mia 2 is about like half of it is in like flashback to like how all of the Mamma Mia events came out. It's like, the events of that summer. But, it's also in like set after the modern part of it is set after Mamma Mia.
Mhm.
And I did not know going in spoilers, so like if you don't want spoilers for Mamma Mia 2, which has been out for years, like plug your ears, and when I give you a thumbs up, I'll be done. So yeah, Mamma Mia I loved because I saw it with family.
Yeah.
And we've always been, we sing along with ABBA a lot, and that was another thing that destroyed me when they came out with a new album. I was just like I was just like, oh god, oh god, oh god, what if it sucks? And then like I listened to that first song and I just like I just
Yeah. Oh, I
bawled.
remember. It was just like back in
Yeah,
what,
that was
October, November. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because and I thought, the I still believe in you. I just, the oh gosh, just this whole COVID thing, teaching during COVID, it very much encapsulates that. Do I have it in me? I believe it is in there. For
Yeah.
I know I hear a bittersweet song and the memories are just like, oh my God, that's exactly what teaching feels like. Like I remember what teaching is supposed to feel like. Can I keep going? Oh gosh. Oh Lordy.
Yeah.
And oh man, local theater cabaret, so much fun. So anyway, Mamma Mia
Yeah.
2,
No.
plug your ears. Um, yeah, the mom's dead. And I like didn't know that going in. And it's all about her, thinking back to her relationship with her mother. And like I'm there and my parents are aging and they're not always gonna be here with me, just like and then the last one, they have a duet, and the mom is there in spirit, and she's singing to the granddaughter that she'll never hold, and it's her granddaughter's christening. And I'm just like ugly crying.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's just, oh, it absolutely wrecked me. But it's completely based on who it has almost nothing to do with the movie. The movie is like coincidental. It's just that the
Yeah.
movie happens to touch on things that
Touch
are
it. Yeah. Exactly.
really relevant for like me and my family
Yeah.
and my
Oh,
connection
sure.
to my family.
Oh, sure.
So wow. Oh Lordy. Okay, no more spoilers.
Yes. No more spoilers for the sequel to the movie of the ABBA jukebox musical. If you don't want to have that spoiled. Shall we start the episode soon, because we've been jabbering for over 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a shame they never did a musical episode of Deep Space Nine. I would have loved to hear Avery. I
I'm
mean,
Caitlin, I'm sorry you missed the live stream, but it'll be every other Saturday. You come when you can and just don't, you're welcome to just not watch it or catch up on it later or whatever.
yeah,
But
it was fun.
Sarah, you and Andrew need to watch Enchanted. I'm just saying.
Enchanted is another one that I enjoyed. That
Yeah, I know, but
yeah.
also because Andrew was saying, why are they singing? I'm like, it's in the movie, like it's legitimately in the movie. And now Sarah just as well. None of this is really happening, and I'm just like, yes, you need to watch Enchanted. You need to watch that. Disney's Enchanted. Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
It always makes me think of. I remember. I think it was Tom Hanks was on. I think David Letterman, like a long time ago, like 20, 25 years ago or something. And yeah, 255 a day, a musical of The Visitor. Good Lord, get Von Trier to direct that. Um, but Tom Hanks was on David Letterman, and somehow they got onto the subject of musicals, and Tom Hanks confessed that he does not enjoy musicals. And David Letterman said, "Why not?" And Tom Hanks said, "Because, Dave, I just have this problem with people bursting into song whenever the hell they feel like it." and and it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, I'm not as uptight about that as I used to be. I don't really care about the verisimilitude of it anymore, but there is
I
still a
remember
little
that.
but there is still a little bit of a hump to get over. Not because it's unrealistic, but because I often, except for the handful of musicals that I have come to genuinely enjoy, for the most part, I find myself thinking, this story could be told much better if they were just talking. Like the songs are, it's like when the plot just comes to a halt, so everybody can
Halt,
sing and
yeah,
dance for
grinding
5 minutes.
because now it's a time for the music.
Yeah, and it's like it's going no wonder this fucking thing is 2.5 hours long. It's going nowhere. The songs are just, it's basically just their singing exposition. Like if this was dialogue, we would think this was bad dialogue because it's just naked exposition, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um anyway, yeah, and a couple people
On the other hand, like I feel like if it's like if it was just dialogue, that would bother me more. But if it's naked exposition, well, if the song's catchy, at least it's got a catchy song with a naked exposition.
Yeah, I guess it's better than nothing.
The song is good.
You set the bad dialogue to a catchy tune, and it's better than just having bad dialogue. And a couple people in the chat have mentioned
there's a bunch of birds in the sky, and some deers just went passing by. Oh, the snow's pure and white on the earth, rich and brown. Just another Sunday morning in my quiet mountain town.
As I've attempted to say 3 times yet.
No, I mean.
Okay. People in the chat.
I really like that music. Okay.
I like the South Park musical, or the South Park movie. A couple people in the chat have mentioned, because when I joked about how it's too bad there wasn't a Deep Space Nine musical. We do get to hear Avery Brooks actually sing in Deep Space Nine. In the final season, he sings a song with Vic Fontaine, the holodeck lounge singer, who you don't know about yet, Dana, because he hasn't been introduced yet. But he sings an awesome rendition of "The Best Is Yet to Come," and he's great. So,
Steve, do you know what I want? I did not know that I wanted it.
Oh, tell me. What do you want? Tell me what you want.
I want a South Park musical. Actually.
Like a stage musical.
A stage musical of the South Park movie.
I'm surprised they haven't done that. I mean, they did the Book of Mormon, and it was like a huge hit. Why haven't they done the South Park? Yeah, I don't know. I would say, I almost said, well, that's their retirement plan. Those motherfuckers are richer than God. They don't have a retirement plan. But they don't
do.
Yeah.
they're like Bill Murray's character. What's his name in Groundhog Day? Yeah, we could do whatever we want. Don't drive on the railroad tracks. I kind of happen to agree with that one.
I love when they get pulled over by the cop, and the drunk guy in the seat he tries to order like a breakfast from the cop as a joke, and the drunk guy leans over and says, "Add some flapjacks," and Phil just turns nonchalantly to the cop and says, "Too early for flapjacks?"
Yes. Oh, Sarah. Oh, have you seen the South Park movie? Anyway.
Snake Big Cat says to 255 AD, Deep Space Miserable. No, I would want the Deep Space Nine musical to be good.
Oh, Lord. Eddie Redmayne. I can't. I see him as Marius, and I'm like, this man, he just looks for, where will I get to wear the most extravagant costumes possible? Between that and Jupiter Ascending. I mean, oh, Lordy. Oh.
Okay, so shall we watch the episode that we have gathered here to watch?
We're gathered here together.
Now, and do you need to reload your?
I think actually I do.
Netflix, and you have the right episode.
Blood
Oath.
Uh-huh.
Everybody, we're watching Blood Oath.
All right, I'm reloading.
It is season 2, episode 19. Yeah, 255. Yeah, the Bell Riots musical. Yeah, I guess I can see that, but just write better songs. Can you make it like Les Miserables, but just write good songs?
Well, I don't. The Les Mis songs
are horrible. are
No, they're
insufferable. Are
not. They're
absolutely
so much
insufferable.
fun. You're wrong, Steve. That's
They're
okay.
absolutely insufferable. That whole thing was
How
insufferable.
how
I
can
have.
how can you like the South Park movie, which like totally riffs on the lamest songs, and not enjoy the lamest songs?
Do you know why? Do you know why? I can tell you
No,
exactly why.
I bet you can.
We discussed it. I think we discussed it with Jason during our last podcast recording. It is the rule of funny. The South Park musical is funny.
Oh, okay.
So there. Azalea wants us to start the fucking episode.
I know.
I feel like that's a signal. I feel like that's a signal that we should get started.
I was trying to. Norman, no, I don't. So let's get started.
No, but I explained it to her. I explained it. I explained it when we announced the episode that these are the 3 original Klingons from Star Trek: The Original Series. So
like
here we
actual characters.
Yes, the actual characters played by the actual original actors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So everybody get ready. Hopefully we're all queued up. And
Philip, that's do. Do you hear the people sing? I'm ready, Steve. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry to see that expression.
And yes, Radical Bacon, this
so
is the episode. This is the episode where you hear a Klingon say trans rights, metaphorically speaking. And
I was like, really?
Metaphorically speaking. But
speaking.
But still very much appreciated. Okay, here we go. Everybody get ready. Are you ready, Dana?
Let's say that I am and go for it.
Okay. Here we go. I'm going to count us in from 3 and we'll start in 3, 2, 1, play.
$2.55. How come?
Because fuck the South Park guys, because they're assholes. They're like libertarian assholes. Fuck them. I agree. I agree with you completely about that. Fuck them.
Oh, okay.
It's, honestly, and fuck South Park. I stopped watching it years ago because it just started getting on my nerves. I was like, oh God, you guys.
And to me, it's profit. I'm fine with him killing you. Then the only reason I'm not fine with him killing you is that I don't get to. I'm scared. I like him.
Oh, he's great. That's Core, the first Klingon. Oh, the first Klingon that we ever met in the show. Yeah.
Aw, nice little men.
Odo's like fucking drunk.
Uh-oh. Sarah's yelling at you.
Yeah, sorry I skipped Paradise, Sarah. I skipped a bunch.
Not sorry enough to do it.
Well, I want to get a move on. Whatever that means, yes. Oh God, he pissed his pants. He's like, whatever. Just let me sleep. If you're not letting me out, just let me go to sleep.
Norman. I don't know. I might be okay with being a retired teacher by the time we get to the Pale Moonlight.
That's not till season 6, so. So I'm trying to move this along. It kills
so
me
I
to
can
skip
retire. I don't think that will actually affect my retirement.
No, you can't like bring that to your school board and be like, okay, I've watched this many episodes of Deep Space Nine. Can I go ahead and retire?
They'll be like, you can leave.
No, if it were up to me, like I wouldn't skip any episodes, but you know, like we've talked about before, I don't want to. With the schedule
Caitlin,
of the.
Caitlin, I've slept since then. I got nothing. I have no idea what you're talking about. Ta-da.
And Sarah Paradise is a really good episode. I'm sorry that I skipped it, but like Dana said,
Not sorry enough.
Not sorry enough. I think it's interesting, and we'll see more of this as the episode goes on. I love to see how the original Klingon actors play these characters versus how virtually every other actor who plays like a modern era Klingon plays them. Because
plays those
plays Klingons.
Oh, Klingons.
Because most modern actors, like post original series actors who play Klingons, they play them really gruff and rough and snarling and rah. And these guys are just like, nope, not doing that.
255 now. Oh. Why? Okay, so it's not a Klingon morning, just the afternoon. Okay. What did you expect him to sing? Like Les Mis?
Human show tunes?
Somehow. I'm old too.
Radical bacon, it would almost have to be. There you go. That's core saying trans rights. See how easy it is to just call somebody by their fucking name? If a Klingon can figure it out, if 100-and-some-year-old Klingon can figure it out.
Ooh, yum.
$255.80, I think to a degree it is, yeah.
Mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You're taller.
I don't buy it.
Mm. Mhm.
And Azalea Jane, if Kang's voice sounds especially familiar, it's because he also did the voice of Mr. Freeze in Batman the Animated Series. Michael Ansara.
Wow. Now you
Yeah.
say that I'm like, oh
You can
yeah,
hear it,
just
right?
what?
Yep.
With it. You.
Nora.
Yeah, Sarah, and it's especially just like they're like, oh yeah, you're really good looking. I'm like, she seems. I mean, I don't know. I don't. I mean, we talked about Ferengi being like proud of their brow ridges and stuff like that, but like, I don't know our Klingons the same way because she ain't got any.
Her forehead's awfully smooth.
Yeah, like her eyebrows are like smushed. Her nose is all weird. Mm-mm-mm. Good, then they'll be ready for a fight, right? Woo! Make it more fun.
Yeah, sounds like a Klingon party.
Yeah, normative and 255 AD. I think the issue would be like only casting white actors or black actors to play a certain race.
Yeah, I think the problematic part comes in the fact that Klingons are usually depicted as being darker skinned, and they're also depicted as typically like violent and quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote savage, and that's where the problematic stuff comes in.
Mm-hmm.
You deserve to be disemboweled or decapitated or something honorable. Just try and stop me. And my forehead was smooth.
Yeah, you say that. Old folks always say that. Things are never what they used to be.
It's nice to know it's the same in the Klingon Empire.
Wow, her voice is really high there.
Do you have to stand so close to me? Oh, a bunch. Just thinking about helping kill somebody. I was thinking about joining a killing party.
Oh my gosh! This episode is badly written. Ah! I mean, it's well acted, but oh god, those lines, they're terrible. They're terrible. I thought you were saying this was good.
What was so bad about any of those lines?
They're weak and clunky.
I mean, they seem. I mean, nothing like, award worthy, but I don't think any of them were that bad.
Yeah, they were painful.
Wow.
Yeah. Ha ha ha! Why would you say such thing? Lol.
I feel like this is more information than we need. Like, she could have just said he killed their sons.
Dax took a blood oath.
It was awesome.
No. You pay off the old debt, it's paid off. What? No,
that's the whole point of paying it off.
Is that you don't have to pay it anymore. That's why.
Sarah, exactly. She took
No,
a
no, no,
blood oath.
no. No normative. I'm not struggling, and I'm calling it bad writing. It's not necessarily lazy. I mean, maybe they tried really hard, just didn't come up with anything better.
Yeah, Madeline, that's a good point. That the albino killed them dishonorably by poisoning them instead of, chopping their heads off or something. An
Not just poisoning
honorable.
them, but making them sick and they get weaker. So
Yeah.
it's debilitating.
Cora is quite a gourmand.
Oh, Sarah Mouse had better lines than that.
Mal's dialogue was usually more distinctive. I'll give it that much.
Mm. It'll be fun.
Who wouldn't want to come?
Oh, oh.
That was just a line of bullshit to get in the pants of those ladies.
I mean, ladies.
Ladies.
Oh, hey, look at this. Look at that diplomatic training coming in handy for getting what you want. I'm giving you an opportunity to do a better job.
Exactly.
So, not, diplomat training, teacher training. Well, a 255, what they're saying, what that means is it takes time to kill somebody. So the time that you spend, you're losing that time from, that's your lifetime. Those are the hours or days or even weeks that you're giving up, making a plan, scouting, watching this person, learning their habits. And then of course the time afterward to hide the body.
That's why I've always said genetic virus is the way to go.
Oh, he's coughing. Does he have a genetic virus too?
No, he doesn't have a genetic virus.
Okay. He's just old.
He's just old. He has a genetic virus called senescence.
Oh, you're wheezing.
Get ready to see some stunt double action. Oh, yeah. Look at that stunt double. That's some good swordsmanship, stunt double. And back to the real actor.
Accusing you of lying. What? Practicing lying?
No, that is gloriously clunky dialogue. That's one of the best stupid lines in the history of Star Trek. She rattles off all these incredibly specific specifications, and his response is, a warrior's configuration. She's going to prove her worthiness to join the mission by whipping his stunt double's ass. Notice he's dueling her one-handed, much the same as Darth Vader dueled Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back. You let me win, you may join the quest.
You'll bring honor to us all.
Buster Keaton?
No, Madeline, I took it to mean the proportions.
Normative. That's the best joke so far. That's the best joke so far. It's a great way to build core strength.
Yes, I read it too, Steve.
That is, I was saying it for anybody watching who didn't happen to see it.
Yeah, well, not only that, I would say it's more the case of it's more the case. I think you could make the case that it's the character normalizing her own experience. Like, you know, it's possible. I mean, even freedom fighters, no group is monolithic. It is entirely possible that there are some who feel as Kira does, and it's also very common in human experience to be like, well, I went through this experience and here's what it was like for me, so this is what the experience is like. No, that's what your experience is like. It's not necessarily the same for anybody who goes through that. Yeah, Arnold Yacht, I was the same thing. I was, and I mean, they can't really be like, for the actors, they're not metal. They've got to be something else. And then they put the little clanky things in later. But they're still like, I'm just like, you're leaving your sides wide open. I'm like, happen to like, yeah, there's a whole bunch of people who think that way and then they end up dead. And what is that worth? The honor of a woman. Well, I mean, it worked once.
All right, then it worked.
Yay! Oh, that's right. He's on the show.
Yeah. Hey, I want a scene.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so do I. I'm gonna find out, ain't I?
Well, and also, it's not murder; it's killing somebody back.
Yeah. And that was the other thing. I'm like, how did you? I'm just like, you were like broadly hinting. You brought it up. You brought it up to the first officer.
That's true. Like you should have just kept it to yourself.
I think 255 AD. I think I have. There's like a pair of them in TNG, and there's like something about Worf's dad, and like
Oh yeah, and his nursemaid, or yeah,
I
and
don't
yeah,
remember the
you
nurse name,
see,
but there
yeah,
was like
you
a pair of them that were like had like were involved in
the
like the politics stuff.
the
I
Duras
remember them
the
very
Duras
vaguely.
sisters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we're overthinking this. I agree with Sarah. They should just vaporize them from orbit.
What?
Of course, like,
Uh,
whatever,
okay.
glorious victory, glorious death. I'm just here for the ride, folks.
I mean, I haven't watched a whole lot of Star Trek, but I'm not getting this. Why did they want to give?
The password is Blood Oath. Honorable battle, outnumbered 10-1.
Well, not only that. I mean,
So we'll cheat with science, and it'll still be honorable.
I'm not sure why they think the albino deserves an honorable death.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that's why I'm
poisoned
like, why?
he poisoned
Yeah,
their children to death.
why is sneaking in bad and like murdering him,
Yeah.
silently so that nobody, so he has no chance to strike back, while he's in bed
Yeah.
asleep.
I mean,
He doesn't deserve death in battle.
if it was me,
Slit his throat.
if it was me, I'd be like, let's beam him up to our ship and take turns stabbing him. I mean,
Or just
like,
just beam him out into space.
just beam him out into
He just disappears. Nobody ever knows what happens to him.
Exactly. He's just up there floating.
We make it look like he ran away.
Nobody ever finds him.
People forget his name.
Died nameless.
Blah de blah de blah.
I'll call him.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah, Snake Bed Cat, I can see that.
No argument from the Klingons there. Yeah, you go ahead. You do that. Yeah. It's a nice place the albino has for himself here, you know? I mean, you idiot. Some guard.
Nah.
That lookout was very helpful.
For me, it raises the question of, is it honorable to respond to dishonor with honor?
Yeah. Well, and like,
I'm inclined to say no.
well, the other thing is like the whole idea of what constitutes an honorable death seems incredibly subjective anyway, because the scene we just saw where Kor snuck up behind a guy who had no chance to defend himself and like cut his throat with his bat, like how was that honorable? The guy didn't have a chance.
Well, that wasn't battle. Because they were saying, Kang is or no, the albino, whoever it was, they want to face him in battle. That was they're sneaking up on these guys. And that's like,
these guys don't deserve an honorable death.
Well, yeah, but again, so how is it dishonorable of them to sneak up on the albino, but it's not dishonorable of them to sneak up on the guards?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Although I will say he tapped him, waited for him to turn around, and then once he was seen, then he engaged.
Well, he did, but I was talking about the scene after that when Kor like grabbed the guard from behind and had his sword around his throat.
Oh, I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah.
I'm bored with the fighting.
Oh, that's embarrassing. We're wearing the same
it's
outfit.
hard to say. We don't know when they started calling him the albino. Maybe maybe they took his name away after he started behaving dishonorably.
I bet they started calling him that pretty early.
I mean, I haven't seen him yet.
Well, that was him.
Oh.
In that scene. The guy with the white hair. I'll point him out when he's on screen again.
Oh, okay. I figured there was another guy I saw who didn't have any hair. I was like, wonder why they didn't call him Baldy. But you weren't talking about him.
That's him. That's the albino. He looks like Santa Claus. Never mind. Now it's a Batman fight.
Ah,
Now it's going to be a Batman fight. Get them!
Sarah, but essentially they're still killing somebody. They are engaging in someone in conflict in a stealthy, dishonorable way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is like it's very inconsistent, and I mean, I'm fine with that because I just assume the Klingons are hypocrites. But like they talk about like facing the enemy in honorable battle, but they're completely fine sneaking up on somebody.
David, what I was saying is that honor is for your friends. Your enemies deserve nothing.
Madeline, I always assumed the albino was Klingon, but I think that's a matter of some controversy because he's never established as being
Yeah,
like they never call him Klingon in the episode, but I think he looks Klingon to me.
I would. 255 idea. I think that's exactly it because I mean she is participating.
Okay.
By the Sons of Orban.
Yes. I grab Thaw's hammer.
Do. Fight, fight, fight.
You're just cutting air there, bud.
No, it's your neck.
Yeah, he's like, what the belly?
Oh.
Oh, because the heart. Yeah, you got to cut his heart out.
Yep, saw that coming.
All right, let's get eating. Well, I'm just going to rest my eyes. Well, let's get started on this heart before it gets cold.
So as a constructed language, I'm curious about the capitalization.
Yeah. I can't. I used to have a copy of the Klingon dictionary, but I can't remember what the significance of. I think it's. I think it indicates different sounds. Like a capital K is pronounced differently than a lowercase k,
Okay.
or something like that. Yeah.
You caught me monologuing.
Exactly. Dax, you got a little heart there on your lip, babe. There you go. Just go like this. There. Boy, that's the life of a Starfleet officer. One day you're killing a Klingon and eating his heart. The next day it's right back to work.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm sorry. I don't get why. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but I don't get why everybody is like blood oath. Okay. I guess is everybody just really glad to see the old guys again?
I remember at the time that was. I mean, I don't think. I think it's a good episode. It does. I think it drags a lot until they actually get like. Every time I watch it, I forget that the actual assault on the compound is only like the last 10 minutes of the episode, and I feel like the ramp up to that kind of drags a bit. Where it's like, no, Jadzia, you can't come with us. No, we don't want you to come with us. No, Jadzia, you can't come with us on the mission. Okay, come along. You know what I mean? Like that's sort of
Mm-hmm.
the story structure. And that gets that it drags a little, but but yeah, seeing the original Klingons from the original series played by the same actors, like that's
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
that's nice. That's a treat. Um, and like I say, it's cool to it's cool to see them playing those Klingon characters with like an acting style that is a lot closer to how they played them in the original series than how Klingons are typically portrayed in Star Trek shows of this era. Um, although John Colicos as Core fits pretty much right in. Like he's the only one who doesn't seem unlike other Klingons because it turns
Yeah.
out it turns out he just and if you watch I guess you could say
Mm.
he sort of set the tone for the whole thing because if you watch his episode of the original Star Trek, which is one of the best original Star Trek episodes of the original series, Errand of Mercy. Even though obviously the costuming and the makeup is very different from how Klingons look at this point, the way John Colicos plays Core in that episode is very similar to the way Klingons are portrayed, at least when they're cast as villains, to the way they're portrayed in later eras, because he's very sort of he's a lot like he is in this episode. He has like that evil sort of toothy grin and yes, and all that kind of stuff. So
So yeah, it's all right. Sorry, everybody. I didn't
it's
think it was
okay.
terrible. I'm not tapping out or anything, but I don't. I think if I was more invested, I would appreciate it more. But yeah, um I don't know. I feel like if it really matters, you don't make a big deal about it. You just do it. You know? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
If you're
mean,
all
well,
honor and da da da, I'm just like, no, what is important? You just do it.
but I mean, then how are we in the audience supposed to know how important honor is to them?
By the way that they act.
I don't know. I mean, like,
I, I'm just, I mean, because there are situations where something unexpected comes up and you can't keep your word. I mean, in like a small way, like you said, you didn't like say I promise I will, blah, 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 but like you've said you do something and then something happens. There's an accident. There's traffic and you don't get there when you said you would. You know what I mean?
right.
Something little like that, and then the character's just like not talking for like the rest of the day. They're just in a funk. Everybody's just like, what's going on? And they're like, I said I would be there and I wasn't. It's like, it's okay. No, it's not okay. I said I'd be there and I wasn't. And like, just little touches like that.
Yeah.
That, 255, I thought I answered that before. Yeah. No, I mean, like the in Grooming Gossip and the origin of the origin of language, I think it is, Robin Dunbar. It's one of the books in my book series.
Yeah.
He talks about that, about the development of lying and cheating type behaviors, and how they actually allow, like, for diversification within those kinds of cultures. Like, they're not things that are, I want to say they're maladaptive behaviors. They're not things that are permissible, but there are things that will get you ahead at the cost of, you have to keep them secret, or you lose status if they're found out about, or you might get killed. So there are definitely drawbacks to those sorts of not socially acceptable behaviors. But yeah, I would think it's certainly theoretically possible. All right. They only killed 2 of them? I thought they killed 3.
No, Core lived.
Okay.
Core lived, and actually, Core comes back a couple of times. Not in
okay.
future.
I thought the whole good day to die. I thought
Yeah.
I thought.
Well, and I'm glad that I'm glad that they keep Core around for future appearances, because he's the best one. And actually, Sarah makes a good point, I think, as far as the honor, when she says honor is for show. Because I think that's the way Klingons use it, because Klingons are also obsessed with glory. That's also a major, that's sort of like the 2 poles of their culture is honor and glory. And, so in that context, I think it makes sense that they wouldn't just live honorably and, it doesn't matter whether people notice or not.
Live honorably, die gloriously.
Yeah, they make a big show of it, because that's part of what it's all about,
true.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they got it wrong. It's the hokey pokey. Aww.
I like Normative's idea. The Klingon culture is an elaborate Wakanda style put on. As soon as the Federation is gone, get rid of all this medieval crap and roll out the tea and scones.
I was thinking more, get rid of all this medieval crap and, roll out the beer and pizza. Yeah, let's put the pizza. You want to watch some, let's watch some of those old battles. Oh yeah, go back, rewind that part. That was great. And they pull out not like tea and scones, but like the easy chairs. Like they're just like, oh man, get rid of all that metal stuff.
Take that
Bring
armor
out the
off.
padding.
Yeah, exactly. Give me some cushions.
Yes, that's what it is. They love comfort. They have this, we are strong, we sleep on flat beds. We're like, dumbasses. And then whenever their guests are like, oh, we don't want to. That's why they're so standoffish. They never want to be guests, because then they do have to sleep on the hard beds.
Yeah.
Because everybody else thinks, don't give them any pillows. They're like, have to go, and then they're just in a shitty mood because they don't get any sleep.
There's a part of Worf's character that Sarah is referencing a little bit in the chat here, and I was thinking of it too. When Worf eventually joins the cast of Deep Space Nine in the 4th season, and one of the things they do with Worf is he decides he's going to live full-time aboard the Defiant, which is the ship that they eventually get as well. And the Defiant is a very no-frills ship. It's not like the Enterprise, where it's like a cruise ship. Like, it's very much like a military style ship. And it doesn't have a lot of amenities. And Worf decides he's more comfortable living there on like his stiff, little mattress in his bunk bed. And but I kind of, now that we've been talking about it, I think it might have been funny to go the opposite way with Worf. And like, you walk into Worf's quarters and he's got one of those big fluffy couches with this like piled up with pillows, and it's like, oh, nice couch, Worf. And he's like, oh, thank you. he's wearing like fuzzy slippers and a smoking jacket. He's like, oh, welcome to my home.
Well, I mean, I think it's kind of what Snake Pit Cat is saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
That he's like, I am a Klingon. I love Klingons. Klingons are awesome. And winged worm and some hot cocoa.
Yes. That he sips while cupping it with both hands.
Both hands, and he gets and it's coated with whipped topping, and he gets some on his mustache.
Yes. and like he orders it from the replicator, and there's not enough whipped cream on it, so he puts it back, and he's like, more whipped cream.
More whipped cream. Sarah, Google's your friend. Bless him. He's the only true honored Klingon. Oh yeah, I think see like that's kind of the vibe I got from it. Like, yeah, but like it's definitely like, hey, I mean, there's like, okay, it's transmit, but at the same time, like I like that it's not like a big deal, because human rights, including trans rights, just shouldn't be a big deal. They should just like, you should treat people with kindness and like call them by the name that they introduce themselves as. Like, that's their name. It's just,
it's basic
it's
respect.
not that big a deal.
Yeah.
It's, well, not only that, like there have been times when I've struggled to call a student by the name that they've requested when it's the fourth change in a semester. I'm like, wait, what was it? Or when I've got a Kristen, a Caitlin, like four students in the same class, and they've got very similar names, and it's just like, okay, wait, hang on. Which one are you? It's like in the Jackie Chan movie Rush Hour, except it's not Jackie Chan.
Well, which one of y'all hit me?
Yeah, which one?
Chris
No,
Tucker.
Which one of y'all kicked me?
Chris Tucker. Which one of y'all kicked me? My favorite moment from that movie is at the end when Jackie Chan's holding on for dear life, and Chris Tucker says, "I'll be right back. I'm going to go get the ambulance. I'll be back in like an hour." and then he stops and turns back and goes, "I'm just playing."
Just kidding. Honestly, I think my favorite is the outtake at the end. He's like, how and
when he's trying to speak
my English. He cannot say 3 words.
He can say 3 words in Chinese.
3 words. 255 AD. There have been gender non-conforming kids. I don't know. I don't know. I'm never sure how out somebody is, because like their friends and classmates call them something. Oftentimes, their parents won't use the same name or pronouns. So it just depends. So I'm never. By the time the students get to me, very few of them are, I can't think of anyone who at the time was comfortably transitioned and completely out as a trans student, trans kid person. I don't really think of them as kids either. Anyway, but I had students who were, I've had a fair number of students, obviously not anything, not a majority, but more than a handful in my more than a decade of teaching, who have adjusted pronouns. I don't think I've had anybody use neopronouns in class. But I mean, I've had a number of students who, I mean, I've had students who don't go by what their first name or their middle name is, and then I have to mark it in like my copy of the roster that I remember. I'm like, okay, this is what this kid's name is, because it's like related to their first name, but it's not quite the same thing. And I mean, it may be because the kids get trans and I just don't know, and they're just that far along in transitioning.
Right.
I just don't know. Sarah, I'm so sorry.
Thanks for joining us, Sarah. Normative, lots of blacklight posters of Kayla's. I love that idea.
How are the parents going to make me dead name a kid? Like in class, what are they going to?
Yeah, what are they going to be there in class, like giving you the evil eye the whole time? Like, don't you do it?
I mean, no, it usually works the other way around. Like the kid will be like, no, don't
the kid will say, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I necessarily know before the parents ever, but you know, when the parents aren't accepting, I'm just, I think I've just gotten more chill. It's just there are a few things that are a big deal. Students being unkind to somebody else, and I'm just like, no. Yep. Caitlin's in charge. Caitlin's being told to keep Steve in line. Wow, I'm like slacking here. So how long do we have? Azalea mentions the Jem'Hadar.
I think that's the last episode of the season. So we're coming up on it soon-ish, but not like. Let me check. The next Deep Space Nine episode that we watch will be the first part of the Maquis two-parter. So there's that. So that'll be 2 more episodes, and then after that, we're going to watch The Wire, which is a great Garrick. Actually, I think we might only skip 1 more episode for the rest of this season, because the last several episodes of season 2 are all pretty strong. I think we might skip The Collaborator, which is also a really good episode, but is the most skippable of the ones. But I mean, after The Wire is Crossover, which is the first Deep Space Nine Mirror Universe episode, and really the only one worth watching.
Did that answer my question? I have no idea when the Jem'Hadar.
The Jem'Hadar. Okay, let me see.
Is it in this season?
Yes, it's the last episode of this season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're 6 episodes away. 6 episodes of Deep Space Nine away. So what? 3 months? 3 months away, and we'll watch the Jem'Hadar.
Okay, that's all I got.
255 AD. I guess I didn't see your pointless nerd question.
I went back and looked, but I didn't see either 255 AD. Oh no, I did see
it. The albino is the albino Ash Tyler's son. I've seen that. I mean, I usually don't spend much time thinking about fan theories, and it seems kind of an obvious one, because Volk was an albino Klingon, and the albino is albino, and it's like, so they must be related. Is albinism like not a thing with Klingons, so you assume that the one must be related to the other? Like, I mean, it just feels a little obvious.
Yeah, it does. It feels like, I don't even remember. Last holiday. It's from Last Holiday. When the businessman asks the senator if he knows who Queen Latifah's character is, and he says, "I'm sorry to tell you that I don't know every Black person ever." Or something along this. But yeah, I mean, and it's delivered great. He's like, I don't know everyone who's black. I'm just like, oh, and he didn't mention it, but I think he goes on to say something about, well, you were supposed to have a meeting. They said you had a meeting with her, and he's like, oh, okay, maybe I do know her. It wasn't just that. It's just like, I mean, yes, they're both black, but also she's like from your state, and supposedly you were supposed to have a meeting with her. It's like, oh, whoops. But at the same time,
Snake bit cat.
Snake bit cat, yes.
My God, Karen, you can't just ask a Klingon why they're an albino.
Hey, guess what, Steve? It's Wednesday.
It is.
And I'm wearing pink.
Anyway, so yeah, let's not forget to promote the charity links. CharityLinks.page.
Help people out. It's
absolutely
good.
Also, don't forget Dana's YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dana Cold Dares, linked in the description.
Yeah, I had a video that went up
yesterday, right?
Boom!
The story time video.
Yeah, because I'm still doing attempting to do 3 recorded videos every 2 weeks, which works out nicely because now it's videos Tuesdays and Saturdays at this point, because then I get a 4th video with my stream.
Yay! The Saturday 6.
255 video. I got no clue. I'm working on a video about. Oh, I can't say that. About a movie that I thought was made. I thought it was made like early in the 21st century. It was made like in 2010 or 2012. I was like, what? Or maybe even later. I don't know. And I was just like, wait, what? It's like, I thought that movie was made in like 2002. Oh, yes. That movie's been around forever. No, don't.
But we can't say what movie it is because that'll spoil.
That spoils things.
Yeah.
On Wednesdays, we swear flatheads. Caitlin L, it's in the description anyway. So that'll be there even when the chat goes bye-byes. Ta-da!
Yeah. And Norman, skipping episodes will be maybe a slightly greater challenge when we get later into the series. But honestly,
Steve, you can be like, previously on DS9.
That's what I think I'm going to do. Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do.
Really? You're going to say it like that?
Previously on Deep Space Nine.
The voice, you guys.
I'm born for it. I would love to do the previously voice.
Okay. I don't think I could. I'd giggle in the middle.
Well, that might be charming in its own way. Previously on...
Previously on... Yes,
it's like, can you believe I'm talking this way? Who talks this way?
Steve does.
I sure do. Just normally,
Yep. Or when you tell me that I'm right.
Well, I want to maximize it. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's one of your favorite things. So I really want to give you your money's worth.
It's that, if you could just say that as you hand me a slice of pie.
Oh my God. That's like nirvana for you. For someone telling you you're right while passing you a piece of pie. And you're just like, you know what? Everybody leave me alone.
This is the life. I have to die now.
And yeah, Arnyat, I definitely am not going to skip The Wire. No, I think, like I said, I think the only episode of Deep Space Nine for the rest of the 2nd season that I'm going to skip is The Collaborator. I think everything else we have to watch. So I'm definitely not going to skip The Wire. The Wire is one of the best episodes of the whole series.
We gotta keep collaborating. Hey! All right, so yeah, charity links. Steve got stuff coming up. I've got stuff on my channel. Leave me comments.
Yes, leave Dana comments. And I think oh, hi Andrew. I think Dana, you were very meh on the episode.
I was like, okay, that was
you
nice.
were just sort of like, yeah, okay.
It wasn't bad.
Right.
But I'm sorry, everybody. I'm guessing you're all like, yay, these guys from the original series.
Yeah, and you don't have that investment, so right. that makes sense. But Madeline, I agree with you. I think even in the later seasons of DS9, there's a lot of story arc episodes. And also there may be episodes that are closely tied in with the big story arc that I want to skip anyway, because maybe they're just not that good. And I would rather skip one of those and watch a non-arc episode that is just a better episode, So anyway, all right.
Wait, no.
What?
When I said that thing, you can't do that. I don't remember. I have
we're
no idea what you're talking about.
And also, we're ending this show. You can't just drop it in right at the end and go, "Hey, I'm sorry. I hope you didn't take that thing I said
Black
seriously."
95, what you'll have to do is leave me a comment where you explain what the heck you're talking about.
Hey.
Anyway, bye everyone. Thanks for watching DS9 with us.
Hilda next week.
Yes.
We will be watching the next episode of Hilda, which is chapter 12, however that's pronounced, the Nissa, the Nisse.
You'll find out when we watch this show.
I guess I will, but chapter 12 of Hilda is next week on Trek Reluctantly. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.